What's going on? You're tuned in to another Six Visions exclusive interview. My name is Sik Saleem, and my guest today is a comedian, an award-winning comedian, Curtis Coleman. How you doing, bro?
Oh, good, you, man.
Good. Thank you for
having
coming.
me.
Man, for those that don't know, we've been trying to set this interview up for what, like a week and a half or 2 weeks almost?
I want to say 2 weeks. Yeah,
Long time.
realistically.
Well, thank you for finally making it out. Thank you for
man.
coming out.
Absolutely.
Right off the bat, man, I said award-winning comedian. I want to get into that right away.
All right.
So, next best comic.
Yes.
Can you
Windsor's next best comic.
Windsor's
next best comic.
Okay.
But
Same
on
thing.
Facebook,
Facebook is still
next
next
best
best comic.
comic.
Let's go into it. Let's talk about how that came about.
Yeah, man. So Windsor Comedy Festival, if you've never heard of it, it's at the Chrysler Theater, St. Clair Center for the Arts, whatever they want to call it. But it's like a festival. They do it every year in December, which is genius because it's like everyone's on break. So you get packed out. They do like two different. So there's the one show in Windsor and then there's the one show in Chatham. Every show has different headliners. Headliners meaning like actual famous people.
Okay.
And then this year we had Jen Kober. I don't know if you ever heard of her. So she's in like a bunch of Netflix shows. Okay. She's fucking hilarious. Like super nice person, super funny. And so in the Windsor one they have like the next best comic competition. So it's like you have online, you submit. Last year I want to say it was like Toronto, New York, and then like one guy from Detroit was the closest. Okay. And then this year, well, technically last year, 2019. It was me, a guy from somewhere in Michigan, and then a guy from Los Angeles. And it was like the three of us. So we go up there. You do like your best 5 minutes. Okay. And then the crowd cheers, and whoever gets the most cheers wins.
It's based off cheers?
Oh, dude, it's like trial by fire. It was terrible. I was so horrified of like not getting enough cheers and then just like standing there like, yeah. All right, cool. Like I'll go fuck myself.
Awkward though? Like,
oh, extremely awkward. Extremely awkward.
But how many people? I know it was the youth three, but like overall, how many people competed this time?
So the thing is, on like how many people submit to the actual festival?
Oh, so not everybody gets on stage.
No. Oh. So it's like you submit your videos online, and then there's a panel of judges who I have no clue who they are. Okay. And then they watch the videos, and then whoever they like, that's who they put on.
Gotcha.
So it's like I think they said the submissions for 2019 online. I want to say there was 100 something. Okay. So it's not terrible. It's not a lot.
No, but I mean, I feel like for a town like Windsor, it's
yeah, true.
It's a good spot.
Absolutely, yeah.
How long have you been doing stand-up?
I've been doing 2 years.
2 years.
2 years, man. Wow. Yeah, 2 years. 2 long years.
We have a mutual friend, Avius. I've mentioned him a couple times. He told me about you doing stand-up. Yeah. I knew you. I didn't know you did stand-up, though.
Dude, a lot of people don't know I do stand-up, which is like if you follow me on any social media, all I'm posting is shit about stand-up. Yeah. You're like, oh, I didn't know. It's like,
I didn't follow you for a long time.
That's true. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I didn't follow you for a long time.
I'll give you the pass on this.
But when he told me he did stand-up, I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, dude, Curtis is hilarious, man. I've never been able to come out to a show. No. And do you do like frequent like open mics and stuff like that?
Dude, every Tuesday in Windsor, Craft Heads Brewing. Okay. We do like it's like an open mic. It's like now they're booking it, but it's basically like the last show was 2 weeks ago because we canceled the last one. Right. But it was like there was a couple new timer, like first timer people, and then there's like guys who've been doing it 7 years. Okay. So it's a weird mix. You come to the show, you get like guy first time, so nervous. And then you get guy who like has been doing this for 7 years, doesn't want to be here. That's funny. It's interesting.
Funny. I've been to a few of them actually at Craft Heads.
The Craft Heads, yeah.
There are a few comics you can tell from their like tone. They're just like, I'm so over this. I want to fucking just get. I'm done with it. Yeah. But do you find yourself in like a position right now where even though you've been doing it for 2 years, you've already been recognized as Windsor's next best comic? Right. People already vouch for you to be a very hilarious comedian. Do you feel like you're headed in the right direction at this point, or do you feel like you still have a lot to do?
Oh, there's so much to be done. Yeah. There's the thing is like there's always something to be done. But especially, I don't know, like the day after I won the award, I like, in my mind, I was like, all right, it's all up from here. Yeah. And then, like, the coming weeks, it was like, so December, when they had the festival, the winter months are the slow months for comedy. Right. Which, I mean, a lot of people, like, you'd think that they'd be more busy because people want to come out of their house. Not around here. Right. And so... in my mind, I was like, all right, I just won this thing. I'm going to get on, like, every show. I'm going to get a call from fucking Saturday Night Live. And then, like, I got nothing. And I was like, all right, like, it's nice that I have this. This is like a stripe on my uniform. But, you know, I don't have, like, I still have only been doing it 2 years. Right. Most of the people who you see doing Netflix specials, doing Comedy Central, they've been doing it, like, on average, 10 years. Okay. So it's like 7 to 10 years is like that's when things should be happening.
I hear that number a lot. Is 10. I hear that a lot. There's a lot of comedians that feel like they're like, oh, I've been doing it for 10 years before I got my break and this and that.
Dude, yeah.
Like, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you right now?
21.
21. Okay, so 10 years is you'll still be young as
shit.
So
that's the one thing that like a lot of people tell me I have as an advantage was like imagine like if you're 30 getting into comedy, it's like when you're at your 10-year mark, you're 40.
Right.
Whereas like me, my 10-year mark, I'm like not even 30.
Right.
So I do have that in my favor, but I don't know. I do notice like I guess part of comedy is like wisdom in a way.
What do you mean?
It's almost like a lot of people look to stand-up comics for like new viewpoints on social issues, stuff like that.
Okay.
And I feel like the younger you are, more people disregard that side of it. Like look at Pete Davidson for example.
Yeah.
Like that's probably like I would say he's one of the youngest like famous stand-up comics right now. Like he's not really saying anything of substance.
Yeah.
I take now I'm like okay. No, I like Pete Davidson a lot.
I actually love Pete Davidson.
He's hilarious. But he's not Dave Chappelle does a special. He's talking about racism, all this stuff.
Right.
Pete Davidson does a special. He's talking about Ariana Grande and smoking weed.
Right.
If Pete Davidson tried talking about something, I guess he does talk about his dad. But if he tried talking about something like very topical,
right,
people would disregard it. 100%. There would be headlines.
Do you think that's just because it's out of character for him?
I think it's out of character, but I think it's also like out of age range.
Okay.
I think it's because he's like the young guy. That's his thing.
Fair enough.
But to my defense, like I find that this actually, most people like I talk to think I am older than I am.
Okay.
Because of how I look, which is fine.
Okay.
You know, I look like a struggling single father, and that's okay. But like because of that, I can get away with some stuff.
Yeah.
You know, where people are like, "Oh, this kid doesn't know what he's talking about."
Right.
To an extent.
I mean, that's fair because like now you are 21. So do you have some of that material in your sets as well, which is like kind of like you're trying to send a message, or is it you just kind of random off the top type stuff?
If there's anything I can, yeah, I do. It's not my goal. Like when I'm sitting down to write, my goal isn't to be like, what can I educate the masses on?
Right.
But a lot of what I find myself like when I'm writing, a lot of it is like back to my childhood.
Okay.
Which I mean, like I think it's more so, it's less relevant. It's more relatable, if that makes sense.
Yeah, agreed.
That
makes sense.
That's what I strive for.
I feel like that's the similarity in music too, right? People talk about their come-ups. Like you can't put yourself in their shoes, like literally, but like you can relate to what they're talking about.
Right.
Now, one thing I notice is there's a lot of comedy shows and hip hop shows like in one.
Intertwined. Yeah, yeah.
What do you see a similarity or a relationship between hip hop and comedy?
I don't know who said it. Someone said this line, and it stuck with me. And it's that every rock star wants to be a comedian, and every comedian wants to be a rock star.
I've heard that.
And I think nowadays it's every comedian wants to be a rapper, every rapper wants to be a public speaker. And it is true. Like, I don't know. Is there similarities? Yes. There's similarities, especially now. Back in the day, like, musicians, talk shows weren't really like a thing. The musician would come on, they would do their music, that was it.
Right.
Nowadays, you have, like, all of these musicians on the pedestal, where it's like they have platforms, they have social media, where it's like they can actually talk to people. So they kind of are like a stand-up comedian in a sense, where, like, I guess they're not out there telling jokes, per se, but they are putting on a show past their music.
Right.
Whereas I find, I don't know, for myself, I do see a lot of similarities, but I don't know, there's a lot of stuff in rap that I wish I could get away with. I wish I could throw ad-libs in my fucking sets, man. It's like when people are laughing, just go, all right, yeah, it's lit. I would love that shit. I love it. But
I'm sorry. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, I'm sorry.
But there are a lot of comedy rap shows. In fact, I host one.
Yeah.
We just did the last one. Oh my god! You want a story? I'll tell you a story.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
All right. So the last we did a comedy hip hop show, and it was at the Rockstar Music Hall. If you're familiar with that.
Yep.
And it's called the Comedy Clash. And what it is, it's like a bunch of like Windsor, Detroit rappers, and then a bunch of Windsor, Detroit comedians.
Okay.
And even though, like I just said, there's similarities, doing a show and merging the two is fucking hard. Because you have a guy come out there, he hypes up the audience, he does like, his songs, and then it's like grinding halt, here's a guy telling dick jokes. And it's like such a tone shift for the audience.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, like everyone gets along, but it's just like, it's like hot and cold. It's up and down. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's two different crowds too. Like when you have somebody 100%. Who's coming in for a rap concert or a rap show, like, they're coming in to be hyped up and everything, but when you're coming in for a comedy show, you can't be, talking, you can't be cheering, like during their sets and stuff like that. It's a whole different. spectrum.
It is. But like, so like, this is like the third time we've done the show.
Yeah.
First time I did it, I ate shit. Second time I did it, I hosted.
Right.
I got really high, and I somehow coasted. And the audience, they liked me.
Right.
Like, I actually like won these people over somehow.
Yeah.
So this third show, I like went there, and one of my good friends, comedian Scott Gahn, he gave me a weed chocolate.
Okay.
Which, like, I'm no stranger to edibles. Like,
okay.
I'm no stranger to edibles. But he gives me this, like, little square. I eat it, and then I go, so, like, how much was that roughly? Thing is, like, I can handle, like, 120 milligrams.
Okay.
That's enough to, like, kill a small elephant. But, like, I can handle that shit. And so he's like, well, the bar's 2,000, and there's, like, roughly, like, 8 squares in it. So I'm like doing the math in my head. I'm like, okay, like based on what I ate anywhere from like 120 to like 200 milligrams.
Yeah.
And I look at my watch and I'm like, cool, there's 20 minutes till showtime. So I'm like, this chocolate's gonna kick in right as the show starts.
Yeah.
So I like sit down. I'm trying to collect myself. I'm like sitting there, and all of a sudden there's like a moment where I feel my like fucking legs start to tingle, and I'm like, it's happening.
Yeah.
Like it's kicking in, and then all of a sudden anxiety. And like normally I don't get paranoid when I smoke weed or anything, but for some reason just paranoia. Just hit me hard. Host comes up to me. He goes, hey, man, show starts in 10 minutes. Or not the host, but the guy who runs it, the producer. Yeah. And he's like, hey, man, show starts in 10 minutes. Just so you know, the first 3 acts aren't here yet. Oof. So you got to tell the 4th guy he's going first. I was like, oh, fuck. Nobody wants to be told they're going first.
Yeah.
Especially at a comedy rap show.
What's the but just really quick,
yeah.
Not to cut you off on purpose, but the whole shift of like, why were you put on the spot to do it instead of the producer?
I don't know.
Just cause?
I don't know. Yeah, just cause, I guess.
All right.
I feel like he himself didn't want to do it, and he himself was also stressed out.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, oh, we'll let Curtis do it. And it was a comedian, so I think he was kind of like letting me handle the comics.
Yeah.
Where it's just like...
Did they know you were high?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think as the show went on, they could tell. But, like, so the show starts. Yeah. I'm, like, not having a good time. I'm hosting. I eat shit. Typical. And then I go up, and there's this rapper named Mailbox.
Familiar.
You ever heard of this guy?
Yeah.
Mailbox?
Did a music video for him.
Did you really?
My friend shot it. I was in it. Yeah.
Oh, I remember seeing that. I actually looked him up after, and I saw you in the background. Yeah.
I was in it.
Cool guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. His rapping skill is immense. I would say he was one of the best on the show. Mm-hmm. And but so he does like 2-3 songs. And most rappers did 3 songs and they got the fuck out.
Right.
So I go, okay, he's wrapping up. So I go up to the stage, but the stage had like these steps that were so rickety. It was like something out of a fucking ship in Dunkirk. And like I'm going up and I step on it and it shifts and I just fall. And there was like a 10-foot pillar on the stage.
Oh,
I fell straight into the pillar, knocked the pillar over. Thankfully I like hit my back, rolled, and like caught the pillar.
Yeah. Before
it like slammed into the ground. But keep in mind, this is in the middle of his set.
Yeah.
And I just remember like being stoned out of my mind, laying on my back, and I look over at Mailbox, and he just looked down at me and went. And that's the moment I knew I was never going to be successful.
Mailbox, cut the check up.
Yeah, he's like, all right, this guy.
Jesus.
Yeah, so they knew I was high.
That's funny as fuck, man. Holy shit. So the pressures of hosting, the pressures of doing a rap comedy show, it's hard.
Yeah. 100%.
But one thing that I feel like, it also is a hard thing to do is telling jokes that people feel like is crossing the line. Man, we're going through a pandemic right now. For like, in all seriousness, everybody, please just be safe. Be safe. Do what you gotta do. My ass is out here. He's out here. We're talking in person like we should be. But like,
dude, no cars on the street on my way
here.
There's
nothing out here. It's
no
insane.
Cars.
But yeah, we're amidst a big pandemic.
Yes,
it's fucked.
It's very fucked. Yeah.
But if you go on stage,
right,
and you're telling coronavirus jokes, is it too soon?
Dude, this is what I've been wondering. So right now, all comedy shows are canceled.
Right.
Like every comedy show is canceled until like right now it's looking like May. Like late May.
Right.
At the soonest. Even there I think it's going to be pushed back more.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the one thing that I've been wondering. I'm like, man, when we come back from this, every fucking person's going to have a coronavirus joke and they're not going to be funny. Probably.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Will it be crossing the line? At this moment, no.
Okay.
I don't think so. Once people's relatives start dying, once people start getting sick themselves, then yes.
Okay.
It's like I don't think nobody told 9/11 jokes until 2002, I'd say at the soonest.
Right.
But this is like global.
Right.
So it's like it's tough because it's like yes, it's extremely relatable,
Yeah.
You can probably get an easy laugh because everybody knows what you're talking about. But at the same time, if it reaches a point where everybody's been affected, then it's like, that's just distasteful.
Yeah.
I don't know. But the pandemic, this pandemic is weird. Because it's very much like in the hands of the people.
Right.
You know, would you agree with? Like,
I
it's
agree.
very much like, it's just like, okay, stay inside.
It's very simple instructions, but I feel like there's people that like who stay home regularly, but now that they're told to stay home, they want to go out.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what 100%. I'm saying? You always have those rebels who are just like, yeah, they're fuck the government.
100%. But it's like, really, it's just like, yeah, stay home, wash your hands, don't come into contact with people, don't touch your face. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like it's just it's in your hands. Like, I hate to say it like that, but
literally, it's in your hands.
Here's what this whole the coronavirus pandemic is like this. It's like getting out of the shower and immediately having the urge to take a shit.
Yes.
It's a bad situation. Yes, you're going to get some shit on you, but it's up to you to decide how much shit is left on you. And sometimes the only answer is to self-isolate.
Sometimes I do. I just hold it. And I'm like, you know what? If like an hour passes after I shower, then I'm like, okay, I'm already like, you know.
So that's why your stomach's always rumbling when I'm around you.
Yeah. All my shits are on
the
Curtis
truth
all
is
the time.
revealed. Yeah.
Now, besides coronavirus,
yes,
going too far in comedy, period. Do you think there's a line to cross, or do you think anything is off limits in comedy?
Yeah, this is a tough one. This is the thing is that question is like what everybody asks themselves on a daily basis.
Right.
Like nobody has an answer. If anybody has an answer, they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's.
Do you think it's opinionated mostly?
100% it's opinionated. Mm-hmm. There are comics who like breed on that stuff, and then so you have opposite like Jerry Seinfeld, clean comic. Mm-hmm. Look at where he's at. Mm-hmm. Extremely successful. Never told a racist joke. Never did any of that. Never swears in his sets. And then you have someone who like Andrew Schultz, if you're familiar with him, who's going out every night and just doing race jokes.
Yeah.
And I watched his specials. I'm like, how the fuck is he getting away with this?
Yeah.
Like the thing, it's like it's all in how you say it, man. Yeah. It's if you tell a black joke and black people laugh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like I hate to say it, like, but it's if you tell a black joke and black people don't laugh, then you must have did it wrong, man, and then it's just racist.
That's true. I feel like it's intention, and then
it is intention. It's intention. It's delivery, and it's also like not so much if you say it with a smile, but if it's actually relevant. If you're just going off stereotypes, that's not funny. You know, if you're going off stereotypes, it's not funny. If you're like prejudicing, if you're targeting, not funny. But if you can spin that stereotype in a way where it's like you're saying it, the audience knows it's a stereotype. Mm-hmm. Like if everyone knows it's a joke and they're in on it,
right?
But that's the thing, right? That's the thing is like you don't know. Number one, you don't know who's going to be in your audience.
True.
When you go on stage, you have no fucking clue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can. That's I guess the role of the host is to figure that shit out.
Oh, for sure.
But like when you're going on stage, you have no clue, and it's just like if they're in on it, it's okay. But you might get one person who's like, that's not okay.
Right.
And then everyone else is like, oh shit, maybe it's not okay. You know, like maybe, and then they shift their views.
Takes one bad seed.
100% crowd mentality.
Now, Russell Peters basically did that his whole career. It's like, just race and stuff like that. 100%. Like one of his most famous jokes is about the bag. He goes, take it and go. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of his most famous jokes. And it has to do with an Asian salesman.
Right.
And so people find that funny, but I feel like, I don't know. I've seen some old clips of Russell when he was in like comedy clubs and stuff, and there were like hecklers.
Oh, absolutely.
Talking about like, hey, you can't say that, da da da.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's built that name off of doing that type of shit.
At this point, you know what you're getting into when you go to see him.
Exactly.
And it's also different of like, an established comic can get away with this shit, like some asshole at an open mic in Ferndale can't. You know what I mean?
Enough.
Like, it's like. Sometimes you're making these jokes, you think you're funny,
yes,
and you're not.
I agree.
And then, I don't know, I've told some jokes that are like a little risky, and I have no clue how the audience is going to take it. Not racist, but like dark.
Right.
More so. And then everyone laughs, and I'm like, okay, I guess that was okay.
Yeah.
But there's going to be the day, and there has been the day where I've said something, and it gets no laughs, and I go, all right.
Recycle bin for that one.
Yeah, that one's
How do you deal with hecklers?
It's moment to moment, bro.
Yeah.
It's, thankfully, in Windsor, the hecklers aren't terrible. Mm-hmm. But I've done shows like out of town, and the hecklers are bad. And it's like, dude, it's literally fight or flight. It's like you either like, a lot of guys will try and just ignore it, and see how far it goes. And then once it reaches a point, then you got to address it. Some people like Chris D'Elia. You know Chris D'Elia?
Yeah, I love Chris D'Elia.
I love Chris D'Elia. his like heckler policy, I guess, is if someone says anything, if someone woos too loud, you're out.
Really?
Like he'll just fucking give the mark on you. You're gone.
Wow.
Like he is not like for that shit. And then on the other hand, you have like Andrew Schultz, who will do an hour just going off a heckler.
Yeah.
So like me myself, I haven't had a situation where I've bowed down to a heckler.
Yeah.
Most of the time I'll say something, gets a laugh, they shut the fuck up. But I have seen it go south. We were doing a show at, Blind Owl.
Yep.
On Olette. Great place. Awesome cocktails. Check them out. We were doing a show there, and the comedian from Toronto, who I will not name, was on the stage, and there was this girl who would not shut the fuck up.
Right.
She wouldn't shut up. Her brother was there. Her brother was loving the show.
Yeah.
Guy was all smiles, loving the show, but his sister would not shut the fuck up. And our headliner went up, and he wasn't having it, and he said a few things. Basically, at the point where he's like, all right, like, be quiet now. And then, like, kept going. He's like, all right, like, this isn't your TV show.
Yeah.
Calm down. You're not the main character.
Yeah. And
then kept going. And it went to the point where he called her a stupid bitch. 3 times.
Yeah.
Brother stands up, and he goes, call my sister a stupid bitch one more time. And the guy goes, hey, man, I've already called her a stupid bitch 3 times. I have no problem calling her a stupid bitch again.
Yeah.
The brother, like, threw his drink at him.
Oh, shit.
Like, threw the table to the side and charged him, and there was a fight.
Amazing.
Between, like, this brother who was loving the show, and then all of a sudden just, like, flip.
Yeah.
That's the worst I've ever seen it. That was a moment where I was like, ooh, it's real out here.
Do you think it's a spoiled sister who knows that her brother will defend her, so she does what she wants?
100%. And the brother was also wasted.
Oh, fair
He was
enough.
wasted.
I've seen too much shit downtown, man.
Dude, 100%. It's a different breed out here.
Oh, yeah. You've been doing comedy for 2 years, you said.
Sure.
Now, I'm sure you've been the class clown. Like, I know when we hang out with, like, Avius and all them, like, you're just cracking jokes, and we're all dying of laughter. But it's a different field, man, when you're talking like this, and you're laughing, and you're on stage, and you're telling jokes.
100%.
Where do you feel like, why do you think it's such a dynamic shift between telling jokes on stage and telling jokes, like, in a group of friends?
Dude, it's like telling jokes in a group of friends. Number one, a lot of it is in jokes, like inside jokes. And a lot, like, I feel like people don't really understand that.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of people who come to the open mic and be like, oh, my friends find me hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm going to be great at this. But it's just like, no. Because it's like, so telling a joke in a group of friends, you're just shooting. You're just throwing shit out there.
Right.
Telling a joke on stage, number one, it has structure.
Mm-hmm.
Your tone of voice, your, like, voice inflection, and then, like, timing. Timing is everything.
Right.
Like, you can tell, you look at the greats, their, like, timing is so worked out.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, they have pined over that for months. And, like, in a group of friends, you don't really care about that. Like,
right.
But, I mean, if you can, like, some people naturally have good timing. Some people, that's something that they struggle with. But, like, if you have good timing and you can slip in a joke, in any situation, you can win people over. Yeah. But, like, on stage, it's much more, it's just structured. It's like, if you can take that, like, energy and just structure and chop it down. And then it's also, like, you're not, like, every joke you're telling, it's not the same joke every time you do it.
Right.
Like, you're always switching things around. My good friend Paul Montani was like, what he does, he'll put the punchline at the front of the joke.
Oh, wow.
Because the punchline's the end of the joke, right? So he'll put that at the front and then somehow try to circle back to it.
What do you mean? Can you give me an example?
So, like, let's say, you're telling a joke, why the chicken crossed the road to get to the other side. Yeah. So, it's like, if you put to get to the other side, so the chicken got to the other side, that's in front. Now I have to somehow spin this story about the chicken, get it back to that, and make it funny.
Oh, make sure.
So it's like rather it's if like yeah.
Okay, I got
so like if a normal joke is setup, filler, punchline, it's a straight line.
Yeah.
This is like punchline. Now you gotta like go circle around back to that.
Oh, okay.
So it's like creating a challenge for yourself in a way. And when you do stuff like that, it's like then now you're creating new punchlines.
Right.
And like I guess that's the art of it, you could say. Yeah. But it's not easy, and it is nerve-wracking. 100%.
Fair enough. Do you have any like upcoming shows that you're preparing for right now? Obviously,
I did. Yeah.
I mean, besides the whole pandemic shit. I mean, talking about like when you're coming back.
The thing is, I don't know when we're coming back, but the main thing Tuesdays, Craft Heads. I'm always there.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I don't really have any specifics because they're all like postponed indefinitely. That's what everyone said. It's like indefinitely postponed, which is like, all right, it's canceled. Yeah. But no, I have a lot of stuff in the works. I have a sketch comedy show on the way.
Oh, sick.
And I can't say too much about it. It was supposed to be
filmed. Platform?
The platform?
Yeah.
YouTube.
Okay.
100%. Probably Vimeo too.
Solid.
I want to make some shorter stuff for Instagram TV.
Right.
Within that. But it's not just me. It's me and a group of hilarious comedians.
Okay.
That, I don't know when it's going to... We're supposed to be filming today. So now one of the guys might have coronavirus.
Oh,
so
shit.
We will see what happens there, but that is in the works. I'm trying to convince Stefano Avius.
Yeah.
He and I are have a little something in the works.
Nice.
But he's a flake, that guy. Great guy, love him.
Shout out to Avius.
Little squirrely. But no, he and I should have something cool coming soon. But
cool.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome, man. Well, give a plugs for your platforms and your Instagrams and all that stuff.
Yeah, dude. Follow me. Instagram is my main platform. That's where I kind of post everything. It's Curtis Coleman _ Curtis Coleman was taken by a senator in Texas.
Oh, fuck it.
That fucking piece of shit motherfucker. But yeah, no. Follow me on Instagram. Twitter, I'm not too keen on. I don't know. I don't like Twitter. I feel like it's the place for Twitter thoughts.
I feel like Twitter, you can have like your freedom of speech. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Oh, dude, it used to be. Now it's like I don't know. My feed anyway is just e-girls.
Dude, the type of shit I see on Twitter is fucked.
Oh, it's fucked up.
It's so fucked up.
I saw a video.
Majority of it's porn, man. Like you're scrolling, you're like
and animal cruelty.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
You got quiet real quick.
I haven't seen that.
No, man. Like I yesterday I saw like a video of like a cat getting hit by a truck and somebody like made a meme out of it. How do you make a meme out of this? This is fucked.
Shit. So people are bored in this fucking time,
dude.
bro. People
so don't follow me on Twitter. You don't want to see those videos. Follow me on Instagram.
Instagram only. All right, man. I'm not gonna shake your hand for the sake of this. I usually shake my people's hands afterwards.
Look at that.
But,
hey, see, if we can do it, you can too.
Stay inside. My name is Sik Saleem. Thank you for watching. Before I go, I gotta give a shout out to Daze for the hoodie. Go stream Daydreamer now. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, every streaming platform. Fucking dope project.
Hype. It's so sick. I have the same
We were there at
hoodie
the listening party.
We were there at the listening party.
Jumping around the floor almost
caved in.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. We almost caved this
Bambino all over the floor. That was a good time. Go check it out. You can follow me on Instagram at Sik_Saleem and subscribe to this YouTube page.
Do it.
Like the fucking video. All that good shit. I got more shit coming soon. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.